Hello,
How
hello.
goes it?
Nice to meet you here again in our den. You are now trapped for another several hours.
Damn it. I failed my deck save, and now I'm
You
stuck
failed
in this
more than
chair.
your deck save.
Yeah. What have I done with my life to end up in this point?
Yeah, you also failed the charisma check. We all deemed you unworthy, so you're gonna have to stick with us now. You're gonna have to wallow in our fate as well.
We'll
How you
see
been?
how it goes. I've been really well. How about you guys? I'm super excited to play. It's been a long couple of
Yeah.
weeks, and I'm glad that I kind of got everything ready enough to where I'm happy with it. So we'll see how it goes. But how are you guys?
Pretty
Okay.
good, pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's jump in if everyone else is ready.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Last time the VOD, you guys were a little bit quiet, so let me fix the volume really quick. I believe this should be good. Everybody watching or anyone that has the stream pulled up, let me know how the audio is. I do so many different kinds of streams and games and stuff that I'm always tweaking the audio for each different setting, and sometimes it doesn't get turned back perfectly, so we just gotta wing it. But all right, so last time where we left off, you guys had finished all of the you finished the awesome Hydra battle and kind of ascended through the pyramid and made it to the top floor. You had a little conversation pre coming up to the top floor with Anne, and she said that if you could somehow convince her bosses, who you now have found out are these three dream hags, that you should be set free and take Anne with you, then she would tell you and show you where your friends are at. So you kind of struck a little deal with her, and then she sent you on your way, and now you have appeared in their chamber at the top of the pyramid, and you see them tweaking with all of the knobs and levers and kind of running the illusion magic that is creating all of these things inside the pyramid. And they turn around and see you as you portal into the top chamber, and they all turn around, and you see that they all have one of the eyeballs of the three eyes that you sacrificed into the basin earlier, and each of them is like a hunched over, like, imagine the witch from the old school Snow White movie, like the stereotypical kind of hunched over crone looking witch lady, and they're
I'm
all
thinking like Hercules right now.
there you go.
Yeah, the crowns.
And they're all shriveled up and look like they're rotting, and they just have the one eye each, and they all kind of chatter at each other, and like they speak in this really weird, like almost like a crow or a bird, like clicking at each other, like some twins have like weird communication in their own little secret language with each other, and they're all chattering back and forth, and then they put all the levers down and stop messing with stuff, and they all kind of approach you, and then Anne's voice comes over the intercom again, and says, "I'm gonna take my scheduled break now, I think, but you guys enjoy enjoy your conversation. Please don't be too hard on them. They did technically win, so give them a chance here." And they all kind of shriek at that and snarl. But then one of them lifts a finger, and when the middle one lifts its finger, the other two, it kind of looks like they're connected, and they all do at the same time. And they point at the three of you and kind of speak in this really crackly, high-pitched voice and say, "We don't allow winners in our game. Uh, we let one person do that before, and it was a grave mistake. We can't let you out of here like that. We can't be embarrassed again. And vouches for you, though. What have you to give to us?
Oh man, I had come up with like a really good plan last time, and now I don't remember what it was.
Well, first off, everything I've just seen since I've entered this room has been absolutely horrifying. Why are you? Can you not point at us? We know you're talking to us. Okay. There's no one else in the room.
They are all still like pointing at you, like all hunched over and like
You're
menacingly.
still holding your hands up, but even if that you're making a statement, when you're done talking, you put your hand down. Generally, this is just weird. This is really weird, and you all have one eye.
So are they
Okay,
holding the
this is
eyes, or are the eyes actually like in their sockets?
They are like sitting in, like the rotted out husk of an eye socket that they all each have. Like they
Okay.
like popped them in, but they're not really connected. They're all
Because
like
I was like, are they holding their eye with one hand and pointing with the other?
that would be very Hercules hags, like the oracles, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think they only had the one eye between them.
And they like shared it.
They passed it back.
Yeah. So yeah, you could imagine something like that. Like they definitely are using these eyes for their own benefit. Like they didn't have any. Their own eyes have rotted away over the millennia of being kind of trapped here by their own choice, and whenever they can get their hands on some eyes, they like to use them.
Two of those eyes are pretty mushy and rotten themselves. Like
That is true.
We're gonna start sharing soon.
I knew I was good for taking that
Hey,
head.
you're welcome for those eyes, by the way. If it weren't for us, you wouldn't have had those things, and you would be pointing out the wall, and look who be looking stupid then, huh?
They all let out a kind of shrieking cackle at that, and the two outer ones kind of look towards the inner hag, and they all laugh, and then the inner one says, "I should thank you for not only allowing my sisters and I the gift of true sight for the first time in too long, but
Sight.
We very much enjoyed the lifeblood that you allowed us as well. We haven't had this strength in some time.
you're welcome.
However, this does lead us back to the point we lost something very powerful, and we can't have that again. We don't have anything else to give to you, even if we would.
What did you lose? What was so important that it's making all this fuss?
They explained to you that the former, relic that was the quote unquote like reward for defeating this chamber was the crown of rust. The lich won and took it, and that it was kind of the artifact that gave them their power originally, and they drew their power from it, and its absence has caused them to decay over time, and the only reason that they stay here is in hopes that they can eventually drain the power from people enough to try to get it back someday. And it's the power that was inside of it has obviously caused the lich to become the most powerful being in this land and completely take over. And
so you guys had this crown, and you didn't just like try to kill everyone and take over there. You were just like living in your pyramid, pulling up your pyramid scheme, knowing that nobody was gonna win, and just like sapping the energy off that crown, using it as the big poster. But that really was just a supposed to be a fraud that no one was ever gonna get. But
I mean, that's really the best way to do it. When you win the lottery, you don't go out and spend it all at once. You put it in a savings account and just reach out for the interest.
Well, look at it like both of you guys roll persuasion for me.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually have a pretty good. Let's see. Let's see what we got here.
It's like, I don't know if I've actually spoken in
That's a
character
12
yet.
from
That's a nat
Thwack
20.
and a nat 20
Nice.
from Flack.
I
Wait,
mean,
let me
Black
say-
hasn't
let me
really
say-
said anything yet. So.
you guys kind of mention your talking points about what you think of their treatment of the relic and what they did,
Yeah,
and
I mentioned
they
that
chime
like,
in like, well, we were trying to take over the whole world with the thing, but we hadn't really fully enacted the plan when Mr. Lich came along and kind of threw a wrench in everything. Which now that we see you and see that you do seem a little more capable than your average group of goblins, maybe we can come to some sort of agreement here. We have not been able to leave this place in a long time because of our failing strength and decay, and maybe you can all be allowed to leave on a certain for a certain price if you're willing to work with us.
Oh, I think I know exactly what. See, we're both trying to go after really a common interest. Well, we want to kill the Lich, but you just want the crown, and we don't want the crown. So, if we promise to bring it back, would you allow us to leave? It would be much easier than to like drain like 2 drops of blood every like 100 years and hope that there's enough to get out of this pyramid without losing more blood, waiting another 200 years. So hopefully, I feel like this is your best chance for the next at least 200 years.
They all raise their like bony finger up and scratch their chin, and you notice that they all have like warts and boils and like long gray hairs growing out of their face, and they're kind of like stroking their chins, and as one of them does it, you see like a chunk of flesh like fall off, and they're all just like kind of squealing a little bit as soon as you mention the thought of returning the crown. They all get a little excited and perk up a little bit, and they defer to the center hag again, and she says, yes, this certainly would be the stepping stone of the bargain, and the main point of the deal we would be willing to make. However, how do we know we can trust you? It's pretty unlikely anyone would get their hands on a relic of this power and ever be willing to relinquish it.
Well, you don't. You can't. You don't know if you can trust us, but you don't really have many other options. Who else is gonna get into this pyramid and come this far to even be able to make this kind of deal? And with the added bonus that we hate the Lich's guts. I'm sure you do too. And we have no use for the crown. So, for what we consider, like, it's safer here than it is on top of the Lich's head, so.
They all like kind of wring their hands together like they're getting a little excited, and when you say hate the Lich's guts, you say guts, and you can see one of them like squeals and repeats the
Like,
word
lick her
guts and
lips
like
a little
licks her lips, yeah. And they're all getting like pretty excited. They seem like they have been up here a long time, and they're like really going crazy and falling apart. And they say, well, you may have a point, and Thwack, I need you to make another roll for me.
No.
Okay. Before I make this roll, when they lick their lips, can I throw them each a ration?
Sure.
Just a little. Hey, here you go, guys.
Yeah,
You guys probably need this more than I do. You guys look pretty hungry. Just as a parting gift.
Do that, and now make yours with advantage.
Is it persuasion or?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I make my
Sure.
hoping? Okay.
Okay, 24.
Nice. Okay, so a 20 and a 24. That's probably good enough. I don't imagine it would take much. They're already kind of salivating, and you throw them some rations, and they pick them up, and the middle one kind of just like laughs at it and cackles like maniacally, like, "Oh, you sweet goblin children! Like, we want not for."
That's
For
not to eat. That's just to replace a little bit that you lost off your face there.
she laughs at that and says, she makes a little clap with her bony hands, and the intercom comes back on, and she says, "Anne, I think we may have come to a bargain. Of course, we were listening earlier and heard what you threw into the pot, so to speak, and you're free to go with them as long as you act on our behalf and ensure the safe return of our artifact. In return for that, you will have your freedom forever." And poofs and appears back in the chamber with all of you, and she's like excited like a child, like, "Oh my gosh, really? I can go forever? Like, I don't have to work here anymore?" And they kind of scowl at her a little bit and hiss when she pops into the room, like they don't even like the sight of her because she looks like a young, average, normal being. And they like hiss and scowl and spit at her, and then they say, "Yes, just be gone already, and don't come back without the relic, and then we'll never have to see each other again." And before you leave, they explain one last thing, and that is that they had placed a charm onto the crown as kind of a backup procedure, and they all pop out the eyeballs that they had been looking through, and they hold them up, and they all start chanting, and this little projection, like illusion kind of image, comes out of the center of these eyeballs, and you can see the two of them that they're holding up are kind of like melting into their hand, and the image is very weak. And you see a sight that some of you have seen before when you have slept, or Chewie Chewie has seen this before. Obviously none of you are Chewie right now, so it's this great battlefield, a dark gray earth that's been scorched and killed of all life, and just hordes of the undead and great machinery and humongous war elephants and trolls and these massive castle towers, and there's just endless hordes of the undead. And the image kind of pans out, and you can see in the sky the Lich is hovering over the battlefield, and then the image stops and the eyes pop back into their heads, and they explain that they have been transmitting this image to people in their dreams in order to try to find someone that could take on the Lich, and they've been watching him in order to keep tabs on their crown. So they give you a little bit of a heads up with this image about what is to come, and they say all of this is because of the crown naturally enhancing the inherent evil and power of the Lich. Be careful if you come anywhere close to this object or this man, because it seems he's nearly invincible. And they portal you back to the entrance of the pyramid, and Anne is waiting, and you now have your items and magic back, and everything works again. Your magic items, Whelm, Wave, Black Razor, all that, and you hear your items kind of like speak again, like they've been waiting this entire time, like holding their breath, and they're like, "Oh my god, what the hell just happened?" And you're all one level higher.
Wait, what was that secret fail safe that they'd had? I don't remember.
Charm thing.
How do we defeat it?
It's kind of just like they can spy on it. They can see where the crown is at. Okay. But they don't know that location. They just know that it's wherever the Lich's domain is.
So before they pop us out of the room,
sure.
or possibly now, if they can still hear us, I want to kind of like ask them if because I don't know about the rest of the group, but Black doesn't really know anything about the crown or like what it can do. So
sure.
since they
None of you guys do so far.
Since they've been, housing the crown for that long, and
Sure.
we're using its power, try to get an idea of what it is and if there's any way to stop it or counteract
Okay.
it. Or
So we'll say that you can ask whatever you want before anything happens here. So they explain to you that it's a great source of necromantic energy, and that some of the ancient lore of the realms and ancient scholars, and they explain, even these hags are so old, they explain that they know of some scholars of before any damage came to this world, like scholars from Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate, like real former big cities with lots of magical arcane scholars, thought that this crown may be the source of all original necromantic energy on this plane, and originally crafted by a god. And it had enough power, obviously, that just them being around it gave them their kind of dream powers and enough necromantic energy to keep them alive for as long as it has, and just keep them living enough that they can continuously drain energy to keep their flesh alive and their magic flowing. And that the Lich, when he got it, was not a Lich or a great necromancer. He was just a powerful wizard who the crown amplified his powers to the utmost extreme, and it has powers that they didn't even unlock yet. And whatever the user wants to do with it, it will amplify that energy and that motivation to a near infinite power. They don't know who or what crafted it, and they don't, like I said, know exactly where it's at. They know it's just in the Lich's domain, wherever that may be. You guys are free to ask them any other questions that they might have the answers to.
is there any way to turn it off or counteract it or suppress it? Or
How do we defeat it? How do we defeat something that makes somebody invincible and overpowers anything they're good at?
Like, can we just stab it enough times and that'd be good, or
They
Do
explain.
we just have to take it off his head? Is that the only way?
we just ask him very nicely?
When you talk about
Get him when
destroying
he's
it, they
No,
squeal
not
and
destroy it. No.
and
We're
they
bringing it back. We're not
kind
gonna
of
destroy it.
freak out a little bit. But they do explain, it is still just an item. It's like anything else. If the wielder was to lose contact with it and become unattuned to its powers, then it would be powerless. Turning it off, so to say, if you're in control of it, if you're the one attuned to it, you can do whatever you want. You can choose not to use it or use it for anything that you'd like. While it's under control of the Lich, I highly doubt that any turning off will happen, but it's still just an item. It's not the end all be all of everything. It is insanely powerful, but it is still just a crown.
So it doesn't have any straps to keep it on his head. Then is that basically what you're telling us?
He may have added that, yeah.
That'll be a problem.
It's probably underneath a helmet by now. It's just guarded underneath a metal armor.
I'm picturing just the little elastic band that the birthday hat cone hats have.
Let me see if I have a picture.
He's just got a little.
If you look on the stream right now, is a picture of the Lich, if you haven't seen him already.
Yeah, I don't see any straps.
Nope.
No straps. Unless he
Just
tied it
fucked it.
into his hair or something.
Yeah, was he screwed those bolts into his head?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
man.
screwed in.
It's
Well, you can
actually a
still
double-sided
crack.
crown, yeah, so the other end of the spikes are just stuck into his head. Thanks to Tweedler for the art, by the way. I love that picture.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So yeah, they just explain it's a normal-ish crown. Obviously it's the highest of quality and imbued with the most powerful of dark energies, but it was taken from them, and it could be taken from him. They hope that it could be taken and returned to them. Anything else you guys want to ask these guys before you head out?
That's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't think of nothing.
If something comes up later, like something that your character obviously would have wanted to know, like an obvious thing that I missed or you guys missed, like it's no big deal. You can
I did think of something.
Sure.
Like I was gonna ask.
So if there is anything that we need to ask you or tell you or anything, is there any way for us to get in touch with you or?
The middle hag walks forward and pops out the eyeball and holds it out to you.
Oh, that's the good one.
Is that the yeah?
It is
okay.
the goodest one for now.
The goodest one.
And she immediately holds out both hands, and the other sisters kind of like let out a sigh, and they put the like mushy eyes in her hands, and she like kind of rubs her hands together and then like reveals one like solid eye and puts it in, and she points back at you and raises her finger, and they both raise the other fingers, and they all point at that eye and they say, that will serve as what you may know as a sending stone, or a stone of speaking. We may watch you through the eye in order to track your progress and keep an eye on you. And they all cackle. And
good one.
The clicking sound. Clicking sounds.
So they can watch you and speak to you through there, and you can speak back, like long range walkie-talkie style.
Cool. So I'm just gonna like pop this back into what's his name's head, Black Razor's body, because that's where it came from originally.
When you do that, you pull the body, like you just like pull the head enough out of the bag to just like stick the eyeball in it, and they all like stop and freeze, and they see that body, and they kind of huddle together and they start talking, and you can hear like a couple squeals and cackles every once in a while, and then the main one turns back
Sorry,
and
ladies,
says,
we need this one.
we have one more thing we need to add to our bargain.
Oh dear.
You're gonna have to leave that with us.
What's in it for us?
Getting to leave.
What? I thought we already made the deal.
Well, we're changing it. That's a really nice one. We need it.
All right. Well, can you at least tell us, if you're gonna do that deal for us, can you at least tell us, what you as an undead, or what you think an undead lich would hate the most, spell wise or magic wise, or what's his weakness? Is it like
Puppies.
light? Is it fire? I know I got a lot of fire. Or is it ice?
It's puppies, isn't it?
Or is it I don't know.
Pretty sure it's puppies.
They
Or
all
is it ice again? I don't
cackle.
know.
They find you goblins amusing, and they enjoy just being around the ridiculousness of this after such a long time, and they laugh and they say, well, the weakness of any undead is life, is radiant energy. Although if the Great Lich has a weakness, obviously no one has found it thus far. It will take much more than just a simple counter spell to his energies to defeat him, and we don't have the advice we'd like to offer on that front. It will take everything and anyone that you've ever known to make a dent in his armor and his power.
So not puppies?
And puppies, of course. You're gonna need a couple of those.
Good. I've got
Oh,
one.
And the two side hags kind of start creeping forward toward you guys, like kind of like give us that body.
I mean, Black Razor's gonna be really mad if we give them his body, right? Like, he's not gonna be happy with that.
nope.
They don't seem to care about that, but
I mean, we could just leave Black Razor with them. Like, with the body. let them deal with each other.
when you say that, the middle one, who now you can tell has extremely good hearing, is kind of like in what would the word be, like kind of intrigued, I guess, by the thought of that, and says, all right, I'll sweeten the pot. You leave the body and that sword, and we will take any restrictions off of Anne's employment. She no longer has to return at all. Total free and clear to join you, and hopefully the other end of the bargain still stays, that you will return the item, but you leave the sword, you can have Anne free and clear.
I mean,
I don't think the other weapons will like that, guys. What does Whelm have to say to me about that?
Well, as long as you're inside this chamber, Whelm is
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
unspeaking.
You got me confused.
I know.
That one. Okay. What do you
as
think,
much as I
guys?
like Anne, like, Black Razor can, like, bring it in a fight.
You are free to keep your sword. Just leave us that corpse. You can always find another one for the sword, right?
That's a good point.
I'm sure in the history of Black Razor, he has never had a problem finding a wielder.
New corpses.
Yeah.
She brings up a good point, you guys.
And they're like salivating, like rubbing their hands together, like looking at the like mutilated corpse.
Like Thwack doesn't know this guy, so like
Hey,
he doesn't care.
to seal the deal, how about we have you guys keep the sword for us as a token of trust, and then when we come back, we get Black Razor back. How about that? You keep the body, we'll find a new one later, and we get the sword back after if we complete the job. We're going for the crown, you want it, and we want our sword back. Everybody wins.
Yeah, but I don't know if the other weapons are gonna like that.
Yeah,
At least then we get Black Razor back. What, you're just gonna leave Anne to just have to go and serve to these guys for eternity?
No, she's still gonna go with you guys, but this way, like, the deal is if you bring the thing back, then she'll like get her freedom. But if you give them the sword, then like they'll just give her freedom right now. Either way, like, she's still gonna go with you on the quest.
Is she just gonna have like a limiter on her and
essentially, yeah, like
unlock
she'll still
her
kind
true
of...
power if we leave
we
Black
need to
Razor?
we need to keep the sword.
So it's essentially like, do you guys want to use Black Razor on this quest or not? Is the...
Well, I mean, if we're not gonna have like a body to give Black Razor, then like, because like I know Thwack's not gonna want to use it. Like,
so this
after
is like
seeing what it did to whatever
this
his name
is
was.
a meta thing that your characters, maybe they wouldn't know this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys anyways. Like, there's nothing technically about Black Razor that just like consumes the soul of its wielder immediately. The like DMPC that you guys have the corpse of now that was wielding Black Razor, his wisdom was like 0. So when he went for the wisdom save to like resist the corruption of Black Razor, he just like 0 auto fail, got consumed. So If you guys held the sword, you would be able to wield it.
I mean, I might know that. Thwack doesn't know that.
Sure, yeah.
Thwack's looking at this dried
But
up
Black
husk
Razor
of a
would-
body being dragged around by a living sword, and it's like, maybe not. Maybe don't.
If you were willing to use the sword for, harvesting infinite souls across the universe, Black Razor would freely tell you like that he would let you wield him in search of the greatest power of killing. But the choice that the hags give you guys is up to you all.
Well, I know Thwack wouldn't use Black Razor. I mean, Thwack is chaotic neutral, so the chaotic part only goes so far. Like, Black Razor's pretty evil.
Pretty much evil, yeah.
Pretty evil. I think that's probably a step too far for Thwack.
Yeah, and you won't catch no wizard picking that up. That's not happening.
So
I'm a sorcerer, but yeah.
We just take it with us then. We'll find a corpse somewhere.
they say this is fine. Just leave us your poor dear old friend here. We'll take good care of him.
Sure. Eat him up.
And the two side hags come to procure
Start
the
with the
body
toes,
from
you
you.
last longer that way.
Hey, wait till we leave first. Wait till we leave. Jesus Christ.
And
What the hell?
they
You
drag
don't
I
him,
know
need to
you've
say
been
this.
waiting.
No.
they drag him back to their huddle, and then they portal you to the entrance again. As long as you have no more questions.
No more questions after that. Oh, holy crap.
All right, you guys. Next level up. Whatever. You guys are level 8 right now, so 9th level.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I left their little scrying eye in the body that they just.
Nah, you got it. You got it. They made sure you took
No,
it.
I would have been fine with that, but
Did you want to leave it?
I mean,
That's totally fine if that's what you want to do. That's awesome. Whatever you want to do.
like, honestly, my reason for asking was just to make sure that they didn't have a way to spy on us. Like,
Sure, yeah. If that's what you're thinking, like I'm gonna sneakily leave this in the body so that they can't watch us. I totally understand, and you can do that if you want.
sweet.
Cool.
Plus, they get
Yeah,
their eyes back if they can unfuse them,
That's
or they
true.
just share the one eye.
Yeah, and I hold the skull up and say, "Here's where those eyes come from. You can have it too now."
All right. So who wants to go?
Be like, oh, oops, I forgot. I left it in the. Oh,
So
and then I
sorry,
gave the
guys.
body to you guys. Oh man.
Can't believe I did that.
Oh, what a boneheaded mistake.
All right. Who's up first for leveling up?
Oh dear. I don't know. Do we get spells? Probably get
Yeah,
spells.
probably. I'm looking now myself.
That's gonna be a whole thing.
It's all good.
We can start with me. And
Cool.
See how it goes.
Mm,
Ooh, a proficiency bonus goes up one.
Ooh, nice.
level 9's pretty sweet. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Thwack. Sir Thwacticus.
Ooh,
Thwacticus.
and I get a 5th level spell.
Oh dang.
Thwacticus Gobulus
And
Victus.
a 4th.
Okay. Average HP, I'm assuming, unless you want to roll for it.
Yeah, we just do which.
Cool. Up to 75. Holy cow.
Nice.
All right. Level 9 Oath of Vengeance Paladin. No new features.
All right.
It's going to be an easy one. You do get spells.
I think it is spells, yeah.
Level 3 spells, maybe? You already had level 3 spells? I don't know what you can do. Change out your spells if you want, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
It says 7 of 7 spells chosen, so you can imagine you could just swap them out if you want. But paladin spells are prepared, right? So you can do that anytime.
yeah.
Guess you don't get any new ones. Anything you want to switch?
Not right now.
Okay. I guess you're just getting that proficiency bonus. Oh, you did learn new spells. It says you have learned these spells: haste and protection from energy.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe
that's
that's just
spells.
that's just your oath, right?
Yeah.
So maybe next level you'll get to actually start picking some or something, or after you rest and you can.
It might have.
I don't know how it works.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
says oath
I'm looking
spell
at
right next to these.
I might have just unlocked a tier, but didn't unlock extra spells. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Okay. Well, you have haste now, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
cool.
double check it real quick.
Yeah, however it works. If there's anything you want to change or whatever, you can feel free to do that. Cool. 3rd level spells. Haste is probably my favorite spell in the whole game. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they did 5th edition haste is kind of similar to how it was in the old days, isn't it? Where it gives you basically an extra action.
You get an extra attack. You get extra AC movement. It's super good.
Because, like, isn't it like it's an extra action, but if you use the action to attack, you can only attack one extra time or
Correct.
something?
Yep. Yeah, you can't take any multi-attacks or anything like that, but you can use your full action to do whatever you want. Brack or Flack, any preference?
You can go ahead and do me.
I don't know about that. Okay.
Ha ha ha.
Ha. Level 9. Average or roll for HP?
I think I feel lucky. Let's do the roll.
Oh, okay. 3.
Oh.
But your total HP is now 69, so that's worth it.
Yeah, it'll work. I thought I'd try it. Let's see.
Looks like no features as well, unless.
I'll get spells.
Cool.
A fourth. Should get a 4th and a 5th.
Dang. All right. What would you like to take?
4th level. I'll take divination if I'm saying that right.
Okay. Did you already have 4th level spells?
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Not giving me any more?
It's not letting me choose any, but it's like the cleric spells are prepared. Like you can pick up to 12 spells right now. So you have to unselect some.
Is it 5th level one or no 5th level allowed or not?
Yeah, you can only have you can only have 12 spells prepared at one time, so you'll have to unselect some of the lower level spells, you know what I mean?
Okay, let me check then what I want to get rid of.
Sure. But yeah, 5th level, you automatically get creation and animate objects from your domain. Mass, cure wounds, raise dead. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Let's see.
5th level is when the spells start to just like break the game.
That's when the game starts getting spicy for all the magic users.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then 9th level spells, just like, why are you even playing anymore? We just win the game every day.
Yeah, you might as well just write your own rules at that point.
Yeah, I cast wish, game over.
Yeah, I wish for a dragon, and it kills everybody.
I've thought so many times, like while I've been homebrewing up encounters and stuff, I'm like, how can I fit in like someone giving them an object that like lets them cast wish one time without breaking the game? And I don't think I can do it. Like someone would just be like, "Oh, I wish the lich was dead." Like, God damn it. I know that like Wish doesn't technically work like that, but it's still just so broken.
You'd have to like
I'm gonna get
do
rid of
it
that.
like super monkey paw
Yeah,
style.
like oh the Lich is already dead. He's undead. Ha ha ha.
Want to get rid of fabricate
Okay.
and replace it with the divination spell.
Let me find Fabricate.
I think fabricate was his
That's probably one of your
spell, though.
domain spells. You always have that one.
Well, crap. Go scroll down to 4th level so I can see.
Sure.
I'm watching the wrong screen. That's all right.
Oh, it's all good. You have Banishment, Death Ward, and Guardian of Faith.
Hmm.
But I don't think they have to be like, you don't have to trade one for another. Like you could get rid of Find Traps and swap it for a 4th level spell or whatever, right? It's just total number of spells you have prepared.
Unclick Find Traps and see what I can do.
Sure.
Choose.
Yep, that'll let you choose any spell now.
Okay.
So you wanted Divination?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, was there any other ones you want to get rid of?
Yeah, magic. Get rid of magic weapon.
Magic weapon. That's a domain spell as well. That one is free. It's not taking up a slot.
Okay. Okay.
You got Dispel Magic, Spirit Guardians, Water Walk, Banishment, Death Ward, Guardian of Faith.
Get rid of Water Walk.
And then, okay, what do you want to take?
Mass Cure Wounds.
Nice, okay. Let me read that really quick. Up to 6 creatures, each regains 3d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. That's crazy. Nice. Anything else you want to switch around?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay. And anytime you guys rest, you should be able to prepare your spells. So if you want to change stuff, feel free.
So how do you change it on the sheet?
I have no idea. I do not know. Man, the spell preparation stuff in 5e is like one of the only things I have a gripe with. They made it a little overly complicated, I think. Okay. Flack, are you ready?
I hope so.
Ready enough. It's all good. If not, we can take our time here.
I did the best I could to research, so let's go.
Cool. All right. HP, roll or average?
Average.
Okay. Features, you now have 9 sorcery points. Very nice.
Holy.
That's a lot. All right.
I don't know if I'll ever get through them.
Right. Spells, you see sorcerer spells are nice and easy.
Yeah. So what I think I have to do, I have to remove one.
Nope.
I have to because I want 2 new spells, and I think I have only 1 more spell.
Yeah, you can add one and you can replace one. So
yeah. Okay. So
you
what
have
I want
access to 5th level spells now.
Yeah. So I want what I want to get is greater invisibility as a 4th level.
Okay.
And I'll have to remove another slot, and I will remove Shatter.
Okay.
And then
what would you like to take?
Shatter's a good
5th level spell. Yeah, I got a lot of good spells.
You do. Sorcerers are super dope, man. They're so cool.
Yeah, so I gotta get rid of Shatter, and then I will get Dominate Person.
Good choice. Both of the spells you took are some of my favorites. Greater Invisibility is insanely good.
Hell yeah. Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
Same thoughts. Alright, what else? Is that it?
That's it. Level 9. It's a simple one.
Awesome.
Proficiency bonus is probably the biggest thing. Pretty much every roll you guys do now is going to go up by 1.
Oh,
cool.
Really?
So, you're standing at the entrance of the pyramid, and Anne reappears to you. Your weapons begin talking again, and you hear Whelm and Wave. Do you have Wave? Did you don't have Wave anymore, right? Darrow still has Wave. I don't remember. You have Whelm.
I have Whelm, yeah.
And Black Razor, and they speak, and Black Razor's like, "Oh my God, the anti magic field is gone. Put me back in my body, weaklings."
About that.
Is he in the bag of holding too?
I don't know. I didn't have him.
I think he was just on the body. So yeah, we'll say he's still in the bag of
No,
holding.
but he is now. Get in there. We'll get you on as soon as we can.
Nice. And Whelm will laugh at that and say like, shut him up. And Anne explains, not only have they been kind of watching you as you took the trials and keeping an eye on the crown, but they were watching your friends because they knew that they were after the same object, and they used their divination powers to keep their eyes on your party as well. And from what we know, the Lich conscripted certain powerful members of the people on this plane to try to bring all of the other powerful artifacts together under his power. And it seems that the leader of your former domain was one of these people that the Lich hired, and he double crossed you and stole the artifacts that your friends were collecting and stole them so that the Lich's power would grow and he could kind of become one of the right hands of the Lich. And it seems that he's imprisoned your friends and is going to try to convert them into the Lich's army. We need to go quickly. I think I know how to get into that prison that they are being held in.
Well, how far is it from here?
It's actually not far. It's
what?
Close to where you came from on the island.
See, I told you guys we were close.
You are expert navigators, obviously.
No, but we had to go inside the pyramid.
So, is there anything you guys want to do before this journey starts? I know that there's not like sweet like city nearby or anything like that. There's not a whole lot of options, but just leaving it open. Like if there's anything you want to do before you go, because shit's about to get real as soon as this starts.
What about the goblin market? Is it...
Yeah, I wish.
I mean, I have a crazy idea.
Okay.
Maybe Anne would want to use Black Razor.
Oh shit. Okay. Let me make a roll for Anne to see if that's something that would maybe happen.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Also, is Black Razor a longsword? I'm sure. Like every freaking magic sword is a longsword. So. Let me see. Because Anne is technically like a sorcerer, so it's a great sword. I don't think so. Also, you have to be evil and non-lawful, so I think...
There you go. Thwack wouldn't be able to use it even. Okay.
I don't think that she can do it. I'll roll for it anyways. Nah, she's like, yeah, keep that thing away from me. I think she understands a little too well.
Oh, and smart.
Yeah. So she explains like, once we set off, we need to be quick and get there before your friends are killed or corrupted or worse. And I think I know how to get there.
Well, like as far as like doing things here, all I'll do is like ready in action for like when we get there, cast mage armor on myself.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah,
Just be ready on mark. Just like I'm ready for the armor because it has an 8-hour.
that's fine.
duration.
I'll just assume that you're always keeping it up.
Okay, cool. I'll keep that noted.
So I need you all to make a survival or nature check, whatever your choice, whatever's better for you.
So a +1 or a 0. Okay.
Hey, at least I gave you the choice, right?
Yeah, I got -1 or +3. So
Hey,
I'll
and you got it.
+3.
I got 20 though.
20 for Sir Thracticus. Brack gets the 11, and Flack got the nat 1 for a total of 2. All right.
I got something's gotta happen to me. It's depressing, man.
Along your journey, you guys stumble upon some quicksand, and Flack dies. No, just kidding. No, so Anne explains that she thinks that, according to what the hags saw, Tweed was kind of plotting with the Lich pretty much the whole time that the main party was out collecting the artifacts of power. And he was building this prison and trying to build kind of a second base of operations for the Lich's army in order to kind of spread out and help take over the world. And the prison he was building is actually underneath the village of Aegis, where you are all staying. And you just need to head back there. And she doesn't know the shape of the village now that it's been, openly taken over by Tweed, and he took the artifacts and has kind of gained his own power. But you head back, and she explains, like, once you left White Plume Mountain, you were pretty close to the coast. You just went the wrong way and ended up at the pyramid. But you go back through the mountainous kind of forest, and you do wind up in a little bit of trouble. You kind of slow the progress down a little bit, Flack. You're struggling to keep up with the travels. Your awesome archmage robes are getting caught on some thorns, and you're tripping it up a little bit, and you become exhausted.
Oof.
And it takes you guys a little bit extra time to get to the coast, and you're a little behind schedule. You wanted to get there as quickly as possible, but it ends up being pretty dark. It's maybe even like past midnight by the time you get there. It was supposed to just be like an afternoon's hike to the coast from the foothills of the mountains that the pyramid sat in, and it's well past midnight when you get there. And now Anne explains, like, well, we're no good to continue traveling now with how beat up we are and the shape that you're in, Flack. We need to rest here. I'll make camp for us, and we'll try to depart and cross the island first thing in the morning, and be prepared for whatever could happen. I would imagine that Tweed's defenses are pretty great, and we need to, try to keep some element of surprise, or go in guns blazing and shut down whatever operation he's got and save your friends in order to have any chance at defeating the Lich. We're going to need everybody. So get rested up, try to save a little energy, and we'll get going first thing in the morning. And she sets off, like, you're on the coast, and there's some, woods and stuff towards the foothill mountains that you kind of just came out of, and she sets off to get some supplies to camp for the night. And you all rest. You get a full rest. I don't think you guys lost anything. You just leveled up. You're not exhausted anymore, but you did lose a decent amount of time. And the next morning comes. If you guys want to stop and say anything to anyone or Anne or anything this whole time, just let me know. I'm just going to move through the exposition. The next morning comes, and Anne is a pretty powerful sorcerer that was, trained and employed by powerful hags for a while, so she has some magic up her sleeve. She helps you all just water walk / hover across the channel to where the formerly hidden island that housed the village of Aegis was. The island is visible from the coast now. You can see it. It's not very far. And when you were there before, it was, covered by this kind of anti-magic, anti-divination barrier that Tweed was holding up, but he obviously let that down himself in order for the Lich to see the island and for the takeover to commence. And you get there fairly quickly in the morning and arrive at the former village of Aegis, and it's totally ransacked and destroyed, and all that remains is the former shell of the inn where the council used to meet, where you would plan the meetings to go out and find the artifacts and plan the next move of the council in the battle against the Lich and his army. And you see that only one room is still totally intact and standing, and it's the back room that Tweed used to stay in, and his bedroom during the days of the village of Aegis, and everything else is just total rubble. You can see the fire pit where some of the refugees that had been allowed to stay in the village and saved from the hostile environment of the world and had been rescued from the Lich's armies had been housed, and they'd been sitting around the fire when Tweed gained the relics and killed the village. You can see bodies strewn about and rocks and rubble of the buildings that were destroyed. But the one room still stands, and Anne motions toward it, and she says, "That's all we could see from the hag's divination, that single room, and we've seen a few figures come and go from that. The only activity that we could see on the island."
How much would you guys want to bet in gold that that's some sort of elevator to the town underneath? Everything else is gone. Why did that stay up? And it was his bedroom. What are you gonna do in your bedroom when behind closed doors? Obviously become a lich and try and take over the world. That's what you do. Now the secret's out because now we can see that his place is still there. Let's snoop it out, boys. And girl, I guess.
I mean, that's what I always do behind closed doors. So
Try to become a lich and take over the world. Me too.
Wait a
yeah,
minute.
so that tracks.
Who did you see going in and out of these places? Who exactly? Just skeletons?
She explains that from, she never technically saw anything. This was all just relayed from, kind of eavesdropping on the hags cackling at each other. And she explains that they don't know for sure. It very possibly could have been Tweed coming and going, preparing his rituals to help the Lich, but they don't know. It was some sort of cloaked and disguised hidden figure, or multiple figures.
Multiple figures sitting on each other's shoulders with the.
Yeah, it was actually 3 halflings in a trench coat. That's right.
The Lich was 3 halflings all along. I knew it.
The real Lich was the halflings we met along the way.
Oh dear.
The real halflings are the Lich we met along the way.
That's true. So Anne explains, I'm gonna look around the village a little bit. If you guys want to go ahead, check out what's in Tweed's room, I will stand guard out here. If he's not down there right now and he comes back and somehow sandwiches us inside or traps us inside, I don't want to imagine what could happen. We need to get the drop on this guy. I'm gonna stand guard and watch, and if he comes back, I'll come grab you immediately.
Okay, and if we run into trouble and we need your help, we'll send up the signal. which is us screaming for our lives.
You'll hear a bunch of goblin screams. It's more like a it's very retching.
Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. It's very
you'll know.
obvious. Like,
She explains.
goblins in distress.
She says, "Oh, that's what my signal was going to be too." So I'm glad we're on the same page.
You were gonna scream like a goblin?
She's like, "Yeah, I've been practicing," and she lets out this like, ah.
Your accent's a little off, but you know that's pretty
She's
good.
like, "Oh,
That's not bad.
give
for
it
a
another couple
non-goblo.
100 years, and I'll get there."
She's got a bit of a Cockney accent on that, but yeah, that's good.
It needs a little work, but it's impressive.
So you can see the former building. I don't know if you remember this. The inn was kind of made out of this like adobe like clay type thing, and the
Everyone was thinking,
the door to the bedrooms in the inn were all just like wooden slat, thin, flimsy doors, and you can see that that's still just there's just a wooden door kind of hanging there. And Anne goes off to like sift through the rubble, searching for anyone that might still be salvageable or items or anything useful at all, just to get some more information about what's going on. And every once in a while, you know, she's sifting through stuff and she looks over her shoulder, just like being very alert to what's going on. And she just points at the door and says, like, "Good luck."
Maybe his room survived because he has a holy symbol on the wall.
That's exactly what it is, I bet, she says.
It's like whenever, a tornado comes through, that's what happens.
Do you actually believe that?
So there's like a NASCAR picture on the wall.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of like secret lever or a book or something. I'm gonna start like doing like an investigation check or something.
Yeah.
Did you guys go inside, or what are you looking at?
Definitely.
What are you trying to investigate?
Sure.
I'm just like looking for like secret levers, like the classic like bookcase or like turning the lamp over, like looking.
I'm checking for any
bed.
rugs that are hiding a trap door.
Okay, so as soon as you guys open the door, I need you all to make a dex save.
I knew it.
No. Wait, I have a thing for this.
Ooh.
Because paladins, if you're within distance. Here we go. Or protection. So as long as everyone's within 10 feet of me, which I'm assuming everyone's going to be if we're all going through this door, you get a bonus to saving throws equal to my charisma modifier, which is 3.
Very nice. All right, everybody make a dex save and you get +3.
Whew. Let's go.
Do you also get that bonus to your own?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we got a 16, an 11, and a 6. You open the door, and Brack, you trip over one of the wooden slats of the floor, and everyone else kind of falls on top of you, and you guys are all super embarrassed. But you stand up, and you're fine.
Go like full, like, Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Like, just boom, boom.
We bonk our heads into each other as we fall.
Get off of me!
Flack.
Why am I on us?
Flack, the sorcerer, make your investigation check for me while you look around. You stand up, brush yourself off, and you start to look around the room. And you can all make an investigation check if you want.
Sure.
Oh, I got a -1 on that. Let's go.
So,
So you all look around the room and you kind of maybe had seen inside the inn rooms at one point. They're just standard like rentable hotel rooms. This one Tweed had been permanently living in as like the head of the council here in Aegis. He was permanently staying in the inn. Just he thought it was comfortable. There was little huts and shacks that he could have taken over as one of his own, but he liked the inn and being close to where he was researching. And it's a standard room, like a straw-ish bed, some nightstands with some seems like magic books, like research material, and a desk, like a little writing desk with a quill, and there's not any paper on it anymore. But off in the corner, you do see a little kind of patchwork rug sitting up against the far
Ha.
window on the floor, and it seems to be like exactly the length of the window, directly underneath the window.
I knew it. Always the old trapdoor under the rug bit. Stand aside, boys. I got this.
I'm like still like checking like every single book, like even though he said this. Like, wait, I
Sure.
think I got it. I think I.
Don't
I
trip.
I go over and I pull the rug back with a flourish.
Sure. Flack, you pick up a book and you see that it's called Arcana of the High Desert, and you can add that to your inventory.
Wait. This looks like a
So
good one.
Thwack, you do like the old waiter trick, like pull the rug out,
Yeah.
and it comes up, and where you're expecting a trap door, there is just this black void in the floor, and it doesn't look like a hole or a trap door or a staircase or anything. You just see this void. It looks like a black hole is like sitting and swirling in the middle of the floor in this perfect like square shape where the rug was. Like the rug had to have just been floating on top of this, and it's just like it looks like space itself is just sitting in this square in the floor.
I should also mention that I probably like if there's any like glasses or like a vase or anything like that, like anything that you would typically put on a table and do that little
Mm-hmm.
flourish trick, I probably would have put it on the rug before pulling it off.
Sure, I
So
I
they
was
probably
imagining
all
that.
like
So you
fall into the void.
there was like a book and a like like a paperweight sitting on the writing desk, and you grab it and set it on top of the rug, and then you like pull the rug out from underneath them, and you can see them like hover in the air for a second, and then they like plop into the void, and they just like poof out of existence.
So they just like Wile E. Coyote did and
Yeah,
looked
and
down
then
and
they
then
just
fell.
disappeared. Like the second that they touched the black swirling space void, they just ceased to be in this room anymore.
Guys,
What's up?
um, I, I uh, I found a thing.
Yeah, we all found lots of things. Okay, I think I found a really cool book. I'm still like rifling through the books. Like, one of these is gonna be a secret lever. I know it. I know it.
No, I don't. You don't. I, I, I found a knot thing. It's not a nothing, but it's a not a thing.
I don't care about your non things. Okay, there's a lot of things that I'm doing, and it seems like you're doing a whole lot of non things.
I mean, I think it seems like a pretty important not a thing.
You're slowing me down right now. You're really just slowing me down. What are you even doing? Okay, what is so important? I come over and see.
And as you are like ignoring his non things, and you're like rushing around the room rifling through the books and stuff, you trip over the floor, and I need you to make a dex save.
Like I'm like catching him because like I'm expecting him to just like wander into it. So I'm like reaching out to like grab him by the collar to like
is
keep
that
him
most
from, like, he's
recent
still
11 your dex save?
No, this
16.
is...
Okay, so you fall, and you are falling right towards this thing, and Thwack like catches you, and your face is like an inch above the black void in the floor, and you see this non thing that he was trying to describe to you.
Whoa. Okay, I see what you mean by non thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, also thanks for catching me, by the way. I totally forgot there was about 200 books behind me, and I just bolted towards you. My bad.
No, it's cool. Yeah. It's hard to describe a thing that's not a thing. So
Brack, what are you doing? Are you listening and see this thing, and you go over towards it?
That sounds like an invitation. Yeah,
Would
I'm
you
gonna
like
walk
to
over.
stare
Okay.
into the abyss?
So yeah, you're all focused around this gap in the floorboards where the swirling darkness of eternity and nothingness.
So
Can I
while
look at
we're
that? Sorry, can I look at that rug you had real quick?
Sure.
Does it look like a normal rug?
Yeah, it seems to just be like a patchwork, kind of poor quality, kind of scratchy little rug, just a square.
Okay.
So while we're looking down at this, does it seem like it's looking back up at us?
Not when you just look at it, but if you stare into it, it does seem to stare back into you. Kind of weird. Makes you all a little bit sad.
I'm going to take part of the rug and dip it into the hole and hold on to the other. Does it try to pull? Does it try to pull it out of my hands?
As soon as it touches it, it disappears, and you all look around and like, where the hell did Brack just go?
I didn't get a chance to let go.
Well, we can't leave our brother. We gotta go. This is at least an 80% the portal and not just an instant death trap. So,
how great of
I'm
an
going
ending
in.
to a campaign would that be?
I would love it. I would absolutely.
Hey, you guys
love
found a
it.
black hole.
Annihilation.
You
I
jumped
wouldn't
into a
even
black
mad.
hole and died.
I'm cannonballing in. Just cannonballing to my death.
All right, Flack,
It's
you
like
jump
I'm
in.
coming, Brack.
Flack is no longer in this room.
it's a wormhole. Suddenly there's a spell changer.
That would be sweet. Like, oh, you guys find yourself in Sigil, and this is a plane chase campaign now.
Nice.
Thwack, you find yourself utterly alone, staring into the abyss.
I kind of pat Brutus on the back of the neck a little bit. I'm like,
All right, boy. Let's go.
You hop in?
Yep.
All right. And we're off.
I guess that's technically up to Brutus because I'm riding him, whether or not he jumps in.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys can see this room okay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you cannot see, are there 8 black squares?
Yeah, I think so.
And you can't see
Yeah.
into them?
Nope.
Perfect.
Darn.
Perfect. I didn't know if it was going to work the way I wanted it to work.
I see everything. There's Santa Claus in the middle room.
Shit.
I use my X-ray vision.
You see...
Yeah, the squares are showing up on stream too, so...
Yeah, that's perfect. Didn't want you guys to be able to see any of that nonsense.
He didn't want us to see Santa Claus. He's hiding him.
So you jump into the little portal in the floor, and you find yourself in a what seems to be a dirt floor room with stone walls, and behind you is a staircase leading up, and it gets a little dark. Seems to just be like an ascending, like what you would imagine a staircase out of a basement going upstairs would be. And ahead of you, you see this dirt floor open up into a room full of walls, and directly in front of you is a like barred like jail cell door that you cannot see through the bars. It's just pitch black darkness. And on the map, this is a very crudely drawn like dungeon map I made really quickly. You can see the lines in these rooms where the doors are at. There's no door on the map, but just imagine all of these rooms have that same, barred cell door that you cannot see through. And you find yourselves seem to be safe in one piece. You've gone through the portal, and Brutus, in his warg goblin language to you, Thwack says, have you ever thought about if you go through a portal, if it's still really you on the other side, or if it's just a copy of you, but you think that it's you?
Oh, yeah. Like if you... Like when a wizard casts teleport?
Yeah.
Is it really you on the other side, or are they just making a clone of
if
you
it's
and then
just like a
killing the
copy
original?
of all of the parts of you, exactly. And then Brutus
Is
just
that
says,
really
like,
still...
man, I'm really hungry.
Yeah. Me too.
And yeah, you find yourself in this room, and it's cold, like you are underground, and the dirt floor, it's like a stone floor, but it's covered in dirt and dust, and it seems that there's some footprints, but it's also very still and quiet and cold, and you don't hear anything.
Do I hear knocking?
That's at my house. I apologize. It's the damn upstairs
Okay.
neighbors.
Oh, really? Wow. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy. We're gonna move out and buy a house here soon, which is good.
Jeez. I guess let's just go check out the first little
Yeah.
cell. I guess
Okay.
you'd call
So
it. Straight,
this
yeah,
is
straight down.
going to be interesting. This whole encounter slash dungeon adventure thing here. You guys just have to get through it. Don't get frustrated with me. It's going to be weird and difficult and strange, but just trust me, it's going to be cool, I think. You go up to the first cell door, and it looks
It's
like
gonna be
It's
cool.
a great disclaimer.
it looks
It's
like
gonna be cool. We die in one hit.
it looks like a jail cell. Like the walls go up to the ceiling. You can't see around it, but you can see that this room is just an enclosed space. Maybe it's 15 by 20 foot square. Like you're in a very large room that is full of these smaller cells, and the stone walls are totally solid. There's no windows other than this barred door, but it's totally pitch black inside and you can't see. And you go up, and the door has what looks like, a typical jail cell door with a keyhole, and it's locked.
Ah, man, we gotta go find the green key card.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we gotta get the blue one for the other guy and the red one for the other guy. And then we gotta come back and retrace our steps.
You
Kill a
figured it
bunch
out.
of demons and grunts and hope that we find the chainsaw.
All right, let's go look for some keys, boys.
Here we go.
Is there a symbol of a star on the door? Or,
It
Like a
looks like,
painting we could jump into.
It's like a black iron, metal door, and the keyhole. It's just it's like a lever type of a door handle that would like pull down, and then you could open the door. But it's totally solid, and there's just a little, looks like a keyhole for like a metal key that you'd stick in and turn. Just a very simple barred iron door.
Okay. Guess check the next one.
After you, whichever way you guys want to go, let me know.
Let's go down.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's go south.
Okay. Oh,
Go down clockwise, and then to the center.
Yeah, you already know.
so this one, the door is kind of on this side corner here.
Are there any keys? Can I look for keys?
Sure. You make a perception check, I guess.
Ooh, I have a bonus instead of a negative. 4.
You search around and you see like all of these rooms. They're varying different sizes and volumes, but all the walls seem to be the same. The wall directly behind you, I'll move you guys towards where it is, like this wall that you're closest to right now. You get over to it and you see what looks like this like arcing scorch mark against the wall, pretty much at like head level. You don't see any keys on the floor or anything like that.
Maybe we check the cell on the opposite side of the scorch mark last.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say head level, do you mean like human head level or goblin head level?
Your head level.
Not our head level. Anything but that. Can I?
That's where we keep our heads.
That means it cut the normal person in half.
Oh.
I want to do like an Arcana check if I can, like just look for like magical, like if I can see some sort of like magical essence in here, like maybe there's like a layer of this puzzle we're not getting.
Sure.
All right, I got a small bonus. Hopefully it'll be enough. I'm looking for some clues, guys.
13. So you look around. Are you walking around anywhere while you're looking and checking this stuff out?
Yeah, I'll probably go to like directly south in that little corner there, that little like cozy box, and I'd probably just like search the corners and the walls of that, and just kinda
Like
see
down here?
Yeah, and to see what that wall is all about.
Okay. You see some of the same like scorch marks. They're a little bit small. Like every once in a while, you see like a little like almost like a laser like scorch mark on the wall. Usually in the same sort of height area, and it seems like you feel like some sort of overbearing like magic feeling. Like you feel like there's some sort of magic aura just enveloping this place, but you don't really know what it is. You just feel this cold, quiet weight on you.
Something's
weird.
amiss here.
I'm going to-
Something's amiss, and I feel weird about the
I'm
magic.
gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
Find traps.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Link that in the chat for me.
Look at you.
Let's see here.
Find them traps.
Find some. 120-foot range. You sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. Trap for the purpose of the spell is anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect. Sense any area affected by alarm, glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap. Would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor, unstable ceiling, or hidden sinkhole. Merely reveals that a trap is present. Where are you casting this, and where are you looking at? You feel free to move around the entire area, wherever you want.
Well, shoot. I guess I'd have to say two
It might be in a
squares.
good spot where you're at, really.
Well, I was thinking about 2 squares up, maybe to your right, and then I would be able to see the. I'll just draw it. See if I can. It'll show me. Like from here, see this one, and possibly this one.
Okay. I feel you. So you get up here, and you cast your find traps, and you try to divine if there's any traps within sight. You sense, let me see, anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable. Interesting. You don't sense that anything is trapped.
What did your spell do, buddy?
I don't. I think it's broken.
Oh,
That was a lot of hemming and hawing about the wording of that spell there.
maybe magic just doesn't work as well down here. Who knows?
Sorry, guys. I tried.
It's all right. We saw. It took like it was a 10-minute channel, but we saw. It's good. It's a good effort.
You feel like, yeah, like every other time your character has used find traps, like the sensation of like, oh, that thing over there looks pretty sketchy. Like you didn't get that from any of the doors or anything like that.
Okay.
Maybe there's just no security because they just never thought anyone would exist at this point in time to just oppose the Lich or be foolish enough to even attempt to do it like we are. I mean,
Probably that second one.
look at us. We're
Yeah.
just a bunch of goblins. This is the last fighting hope. Oh my god. It's all sinking in now.
We're all screwed.
Okay, let's find these keys before I lose focus.
You guys are doing great. What would you like to do? So far, you have entered the portal. You checked out the first door that was locked, and you casted find traps. And you looked for keys, and you found a scorch mark on the wall.
2 different places, actually.
Yeah, multiple places. And now that you're looking for them, you can see like that same kind of level throughout this entire room. They appear sporadically. You can see some like laser cut scorch marks on the wall.
Wait a minute. If we don't have a key, I might have a way for us to possibly open these locks with a creative individual willing to sacrifice their
Oh, this should be good.
delicious body temporarily.
Do share.
I have a spell that polymorphs people into animals, and maybe you could be some sort of weird ass koala that can like pick locks, and if not, you could maybe just become a snake
Oh my
and check out every single case.
If
But
there's
someone's
one
gonna have to do
thing,
it. I can only cast it once, so
if there was one thing that koalas are known for,
Picking locks.
picking locks.
I was just thinking something small that can fit through the bars and has like weird claws that
They're
can maybe.
expert criminals.
I mean, you'd never expect it. Look
That's
at their
true.
eyes.
I mean, if you really want, just go for a raccoon. They already have the mask.
Yeah.
That's a stereotype. I wanted to do something that was like original. Okay.
I like it. I like that. I understand. That's funny.
Stop stereotyping raccoons.
Carry on. Whatever you guys want to do.
What would they ever do to you?
I'm going to cast another spell.
Sure. Also,
Okay.
you guys can still walk around and stuff, like whatever you want to do.
I'm going to cast Death Ward on our sorcerer.
Okay. So
Oh, wow.
if you would die now, you don't instead, and you get saved at
Get
1
one.
HP or whatever.
Instead, you
Ooh,
don't.
I get like a one life kind of barrier.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's like
That's sick. All right.
get out of jail free card for dying.
How does it look when he casts it on me?
Yeah, Brack.
Well,
Um,
when I cast a spell, glows come out of my hands and surround you with glittering
Nice.
light.
you look fabulous.
Wow, I feel so much better all of a sudden. I feel like I can do it, except turn into an animal. That's your guys'. So which one of you guys wants to be an animal? Does that mean you want to do it, Brack?
No.
So with the scorch
That was my-
marks,
Sorry.
with the scorch marks, is there any way for us to be able to tell like what could have made them, as terms of like, is it fire, acid, lightning? kind of
Ooh,
thing?
that's a good question. Do a investigation check for me, please,
All right.
and let me read the thing that made them and see if it
Nope.
tells me. You
Pretty
go-
sure I can't.
You go up and touch one, and it looks, just like a burnt, like if you were to etch, like laser etch wood, it just looks like a burnt mark. It's like pretty clean. It looks charred in the wall. It's just scorched. Brack, you go up and look at it, and as a forge cleric, you have pretty good knowledge of crafting things and how things work and are put together and made materialistically. And looking at it, you think that it was definitely made with some type of fire or magical, high energy.
Can I determine what direction it would have came from?
There's no like trailing off point. It's like pretty consistent throughout each mark.
Okay.
There's no like taper to it at all. It's just like wherever you see the scorch marks, it's just like a laser cut scorch.
Okay.
Is it just like horizontal at head level, or is it?
Seems to be.
Do they go up and down? Okay.
Can I pull out my Arcana of the High Desert and see if I can maybe see if these are maybe some sort of like symbols or something, or maybe they're labels or some sort of thing?
Yeah, make an investigation check to read through the book.
Okay. Ooh, and that -1. Let's go. Oh, a 12.
You find a passage that explains that there used to be a great myth of a creature that some of the writing explains that maybe it would have been capable of producing such markings. And this book is one of Tweed's research books that he was studying for your journeys and stuff like that. And there's some notes in the margins about, you know, Tweed seems to think that this mythological creature really existed, and there's some notes about its location and that he had been interested in trying to find it. But it doesn't say for sure what its name was or anything like that. It's just this mythological beast that had been, theorized to exist in the desert of this area for thousands of years.
All right. I'll relay that to everyone, and then at the end of it, I'll say, well, do you think that he maybe caught it? Maybe you think he had enough time or enough skeletons? You think it's in here? This very room?
Could be in any of these rooms.
Because I'd imagine
Could be in
like
all of them.
a big purple puppy that's just a giant mouth, and he's dragging it on a chain, and it's just spitting fire or corrosion at every single wall. It's in its sight on its way to its cage, so I could see that being a thing. But
So
your guess is as good as mine.
very like warily of like trying not to walk in front of the doors because
Sure.
you said like they're just like bars, right?
Yeah.
Or is it?
So they're like real stereotypical like black bar jail cell doors, but they seem like it looks like you can see through them, but they are like pitch black, like
black.
void behind the door.
But like the rest of it is solid walls?
Yeah.
Or is it all bars? Okay. So yeah, so like being very careful as I walk across like where the bars are. I want to kind of like look around the whole area to see if there's any spots where there's like a whole lot of those marks like from across the way from the entrance.
Sure. Which way do you go?
Like, even just like any like where there seems to be the most of those markings.
Sure. Which way do you walk around?
Clockwise.
Okay.
I will follow close. Let's stay close, guys.
Okay. Brack?
I'll stay close.
You sounded unenthused about that.
It's always very like worrisome when the DM asks you, which way do you
I
Which
really try
direction?
to purposely do that kind of stuff to
Could you
mess
actually
with you
like
guys.
point out which squares you actually touch as you go?
Which exact direction and facing are you choosing here? So you start going around clockwise and take care to spend as little time in front of the bars as possible as you go, and quickly.
I can probably like duck under like where those lines
Okay,
are.
okay, I get it. And
Yeah, we
you
like
go
Army
around,
Man
and
crawl.
all of the walls you see so far in this southern or the like bottom part of the room, they all seem to have the scorch marks. There's not any like large concentration of them. It's just every couple feet there's a little line or a dash or a scorch or whatever. As you pass in front of this bottom door, you do hear the first noise that you've heard since you've been down here. It's been like eerily quiet. You do hear like the faintest of faint, like almost like a 1 millisecond little whimper of it's almost inaudible. As you like quickly duck past that door, you hear it, and then
like,
it's
nope,
gone,
nope,
and
nope,
it's
nope,
back
nope.
to silence. And it's it was a really faint, weak, almost a cry.
Did it sound like, say, a creature whimper or like a more human or a humanoid type?
Yeah, maybe not like an animal or anything like that. It sounded like a weakened person, like whimpering with their last breath type of a thing.
Hey, did anyone else hear that? I think my ears just popped. How deep down are we anyway? So we don't really know if we got teleported, if we literally just like walked down to the... My ears are really popping.
Yeah, who knows? You guys, there was the staircase leading up behind you when you came in, and the closer you get, you can see down the hallway in front of you. You can see that there's a staircase leading down.
Oh boy. Well, I guess that was just me then. Let's keep moving unless everyone else. Everyone else?
It kind of sounded like someone, like, I don't know, crying or something. Whatever those noises that people make when they're, suffering and dying. You know the
Okay.
ones.
Hey, so say that's true. What does that change on us finding the keys? Are we
No,
gonna
not-
go?
not a
Are you?
thing.
Do you want to transform into a snake and see who that is? Is that what you're saying?
No. No.
Well then, let's continue on.
Yeah. I'm not saying it changes anything. That's just what I heard.
Okay. Oh, that's fair enough. Well then, all right.
Brack, you want to try something?
Yeah, I was trying to find something here real quick. Lost it. Okay. What do you guys think about me trying to melt the lock on the door?
That sounds like a terrible idea. Go for it.
It's better than my snake idea.
Is it?
Yeah, because the snake doesn't get anyone out.
That's true.
They're just like, a snake.
You can identify every single cage unless like one of them's like a snake-eating beast, and you can just find out what everything is. But we don't know how to get out.
Unless they can use the tip of their tail as a lockpick and just.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about koala.
So,
But it's
Brack, do you want to
claws.
try to do something here?
Well, I do want to try to do that. What door should I try it on? Because I only got the one spell, guys. So
Well, I'd assume the whimper would come from somebody in need, and even if it wasn't, it would at least be a weaker monster than one that's ready to feast on the first thing it's seen in weeks.
Well, let's check the other rooms and see if there's anything,
okay.
Wait,
even more pathetic sounding.
You're just literally waiting for the cell to call out to you.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? You want to choose us?
I mean, I'm waiting for one of these cells to offer us gold for opening the thing.
They can't
up
even
for
see
it,
us. They're
you know?
probably just like, who are these? Do I hear
You don't know
goblins?
that.
Who are these guys in here? Are they gonna let us out? And there's
Just
two
because we can't see them doesn't mean they can't see us.
I mean, maybe, but I like to think that they probably can't see us.
No evidence whatsoever.
Because I don't get to see them. So
That's
why should they get
speciesist.
to? I don't even know why you would think that way.
All right, so you guys want to keep going forward or stop and try something here?
I'd say melt this lock.
Okay. I cast heat metal on the lock right there.
On this one that you heard the noise from?
Yeah.
Okay, you get up and you start like working on this lock, and you bump. You what?
Okay. I was going to duck down.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. You can like get on the side of it, like you kind of just are working on it from the side, not directly in front of the door. You begin casting your spell, and you like hit the handle of the door, and it's not even locked, and you can feel that you could pull the door open.
So I don't cast a spell. The doors are unlocked.
Did we check any of these doors, you guys? Like,
I don't think we
The
did.
first one. The first one, I think, was locked.
You did check the first one; it was locked.
Okay. Okay. I'll swing it open and duck back.
Okay.
It's like we picked the lock and accidentally lock it.
Yeah. You duck around the corner as you swing the door open, and you see the body of a short goblin man disguised as a halfling, and he's huddled up in the corner and let out a whimper, and he like is barely coming to consciousness. And some of you may recognize this as the
Goldu.
the Goblin King Goldu, who was a former member of the Elder Council and a rogue that disguised himself as a halfling, but really he was the ancient Goblin King.
Well,
Buddy,
all
how's
our
it going?
goblins would know him, right?
Yeah,
'Cause he's
all
the
of your
Goblin King.
characters know that this is like you kind of worship this guy as the king of the goblins that still remain.
Hell yeah.
And he must have been captured when Aegis fell. He remained there after he quit the council and just chose to live the regular goblin life. And he's beat up and kidnapped, and he doesn't have his weapons or anything. He's just stuffed into the corner and looks pretty beat up. But he's awakening, and he recognizes you from around the corner, Brack, and he like lets out a gasp.
So Thwack would recognize him as the
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Thwack sees him, he would say,
Sir, I have something of the utmost importance to bring to your attention. Please pass judgment on this torch that I carry.
he like Goldu's a very like peculiar, like strange individual. He is almost entirely obsessed with gold. That's pretty much his thing. And he's really into being the Goblin King. So he's like almost, he's like on his dying bed here. He really is in bad shape, and
Sure. We'll hear one later, but first.
He looks to see if you have any food or water, and he's like, "Torch? What torch? What do you mean?"
I mean, I'll cast Cure Wounds on him. I'm pretty sure I didn't get rid of Cure Wounds.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Cool. Yeah, roll your numbers.
Bloop.
5. All right, he pops up. He feels pretty good now. He's like, pops up and grins at you all, and he takes off the halfling disguise, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, my brethren," and he's like, I don't know how I found myself down here. I just was taking a nice nap out in the sea air on the island, and next thing I know, I wake up in this cage, and I'm being tormented by some sort of magical aura, and it's weakening me, and I thought I was a goner. I haven't seen anyone else in days. And he says, "What is this of this torch you speak?"
Yes, this flame here murdered my cousin. I mean, a very good goblin's cousin. And I must have summary judgment against this torch. It has been my personal quest for days. I don't, how long have we been doing this, guys? Like, it's been
Probably, I don't know, a few days. Yeah, I don't know.
it's probably been.
It's like if it's been like 3 days,
It's like been 4 days. You guys have no idea.
So he asks you if he can inspect this torch.
But of course,
and I pass it.
He looks at it and he's like, "You're sure that it was this flame that murdered this fine goblin's cousin?"
Absolutely. He fell into it by no fault of not the other cousin, and died. You know, if a goblin gets pushed and falls on the ground, do they die? No.
And
So obviously,
Goldie says, "This is true. We all know that is a fact. It seems to me this fire is our enemy, a killer of goblins."
Indeed.
It's brave of you to have even come anywhere close to it, let alone transport it to me for this judgment.
It has been my solemn duty.
I must sentence this flame to death by goblin slay. and he drops it on the ground in front of you and asks you all to stomp it to death.
Excellent.
So you have a unlit torch on the ground. And Goldie explains, like, if I'm here, I wonder if everyone else from the village is here. I don't know why, where are we? How did you guys get here? Did you find the others?
I'm stomping out the torch. There's like a tear in my eye because like I love everything to do with like fire.
Right.
And like secretly, I wanted the fire to win the trial because it would stop shutting up about it. So I was just like, damn.
Thwack also has a tear in his eye.
It's like that was your whole purpose. Now
Yeah.
you don't know what you are.
He's like,
Oh,
I can't-
one thing. Could I maybe get that in writing? That she made that ruling
I'm
Goldie,
crying
like,
too.
for a friend.
I'm a forge clerk. I'm crying.
yeah. Goldie puts his hand on your shoulder, Thwack, and he's like, as soon as we get back, I promise I will put it in writing, and we will have a big ceremony for the sacrifice of the fire.
I should probably mention that the fire does not go out from us stomping on it. It is a continual flame spell at this point.
So I need you all to roll a dex save for me.
Ouch.
Well, the continual flame spells don't actually give off any kind of heat. They're just a light.
Sure.
Like,
That's
'cause
funny.
at some point, Thwack came across, like, the torch kept going out, so he asked a wizard to fix it.
Okay. So he actually kept the flame going himself. So you're all like stomping on the torch, and eventually Goldie's just like, "What the hell?" Like, all right, well, it's dead in spirit. Like, I absolve anyone, definitely not you, but anyone who may have. Certainly, this torch was the killer. This flame, and I think it's known that its punishment was on behalf of the goblins, and the cousin that is killed is now avenged. And Goldie says, "We got to try to get the hell out of here. Where are we, you guys? What's going on?"
I go up to Goldu and I say, Goldu, it's a blessing to see you again. Unfortunately, times are serious, and we might not make it out of this hellhole alive. I want your last moments to be happy, no matter what. And then I like kneel on one knee and I give him 1,833 gold pieces.
Dang, is that like all the gold you had?
No, but it's a big portion.
That is a lot of gold. Goldu stands before you, and he sees you offering this gold, and he like makes this grand bowing gesture, like, it is wonderful to see you as well, my brother, and I had already resigned myself to my fate of not making it out of this horrid cell, so any hope at all, especially that brought by my fellow goblin brothers, gives me faith that we will get out of here. And then he like totally scoops all the gold into his bag.
He was like, totally, I don't know.
He's like, thanks, kid. And he puts it in his like bag of holding pocket and straps it to his belt. And he's like, all right, let's get the hell out of here.
So he like pop one in his mouth, like bites
Like,
it.
bites it. That is exactly the inspiration for the character. Like, he's like a used car salesman goblin.
Well, I think I'm gonna run over to the right and duck down and see if the cell will open up.
Okay, this right door here. You get to this and you see the same thing, scorch marks all over in the same areas. Seems to be pretty similar. This door is locked. Goldu comes out and looks around as well and asks if you guys know anything about what's going on here. He says that he's been in this cell for unknown number of days. He hasn't seen or heard anybody since he got here.
We were hoping you would know it. Do you know what all these scorch marks are?
He looks at them. and he says definitely some sort of magical fire or uh, beam of some sort, but nothing I can identify. He says, "Where'd you come into this? What? How did you guys find this place? You got to know more than I do."
Well, basically, Tweed is evil or possibly the Lich. Either way, it's really bad, and the only thing that's left standing of the town, since he collected all the artifacts, was his room. So we went into some nothing, which was a hole in the ground, and now we're in this room with a million cells with black mist or whatever, and half the cells are locked. So we almost turned ourselves into snakes to get into yours, and half of them, I guess, just aren't locked. And well, you're pretty dexterous. Could you help us pick some of these locks?
He explains like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't see out of the cell when I was in there. I saw that it was, just regular cell
See, I
bars,
told
but
you guys.
You're right. You're right.
and he
When am I
explains
not?
like, I can try, but I tried everything to jimmy my way out of there, but I don't think there's some sort of enchantment on these cells. If you guys got me out, maybe the magic wore off of this one, or someone wanted you to get me out. I don't know what's going on. If this is something to do with Tweed, there's definitely some high level magic. And you said something about a portal. I'm worried.
Yeah, it's
we gotta get out of here quick, or find the others. They'll know what to do.
Well, our guess is that they're probably going to be in one of these cells if you're in here. And I mean, we don't know where they are, and the whole town's dead or apparently kidnapped. So hopefully they didn't just kill them, and hopefully they're in these cells. But that's what we got to do. If you want to leave, there's like the stairs that go right up there, and I point. But like, be careful. There's been people coming in and out, and I don't want you getting caught all by yourself with low HP.
Also, we don't really know where those stairs go, but it's probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably where we came from, but we don't actually know that. That's true.
We didn't come downstairs. We kind of came down.
He's like, wait, you mean you didn't come down those stairs right there? Like, how did you get in here? The portal? It just put you right in here?
We touched a portal and we appeared at the base of those stairs, so we assumed that's how you get out. I mean, we could just literally be trapped here for the rest of our lives and not even know. So we'll figure that's a bridge that we'll cross when we get there. You know.
He's like, all right. What's downstairs? Did you look down there?
No, we just made it up to your cave. You're lucky we heard you, or we wouldn't have wasted a spell. Oh, we almost wasted a spell. I mean, we could have just walked straight on by, but we heard signs of life.
He says, well, I'm not going to be any good helping break into these things without my gear. I don't even have a simple lockpick. Let's carry on and see if maybe they stashed our gear somewhere or something. I don't know. He's like, I kind of want to check out those stairs to make sure that we're not going to get ourselves into some trouble here.
So my character has a disguise kit, which probably has like sewing needles.
Sure, like a hairpin or
like
something.
Yeah, I pop open that and like pull out a couple things. I'm like, would these help?
He kind of grabs them and shoves some stuff together and kind of fashions a little makeshift rod. And he's like, maybe I could use this. And
This one over here is locked.
He heads over and he looks around and he sees the scorch marks all over the walls that you had him check out, and he's like, man, these things are everywhere. Like, something's been loose in here at some point and was after somebody.
Just out of curiosity and more so player curiosity.
Sure.
When you say scorched, would it be fair to maybe use the word disintegrated?
I was thinking that too.
I don't know. Maybe
Do they just? Does it look like the wall was disintegrated on those marks,
it looks like the
like by some kind
physical
of
material that
ray or
used to be
something?
where the wall is
Uh-oh.
is not there anymore, and it's just left behind this scorched
Okay.
mark. So I guess
Hmm.
technically
Hmm.
there may
Mhm.
have been some sort of disintegration, but it's hard to
Mhm.
say.
Mhm.
Time to exit
Yep.
stage left.
All right. Cool.
So
Good to know. Good to
Goldu
know.
is discussing the disintegration possibilities with all of you, and he sticks this amalgamation of all of your disguise stuff into this lock, and he starts jiggling it around a couple times, and it just disappears from his hand. And he pulls his hand back like, what the hell? And he's like, this is kind of the same thing. Like when I tried to reach through the bars, it just like I stuck my hand
Did your
through,
hand disappear?
and as soon as I stuck my hand through the bars, it was just like I woke up the second before I stuck my hand through, and I had just never done it. It just wouldn't let it happen.
Weird.
And you look back
You
in your
traveled
disguise.
back in time?
You look in your disguise kit, and all of the stuff that he had just used is just back inside of your disguise kit.
Can we do that with alcohol?
I pull out another like one of the things I handed to him, or something, and I try throwing it through the bars of the.
Same thing.
It just pops back into the.
It's not even that. It's like as soon as you let it go and it's like heading towards it, it's like back in your hand, and like it seems like it's like the moment before you decided to throw it. It just like reality will not allow you to interfere with whatever is the magic barrier.
What does it look like to us when he's trying to throw it over
Like
and over?
it's like he's just not even moving. It's like, huh!
It's like he's like stuck, paralyzed, trying to decide if he's going or not.
Yeah.
So like during that time where I'm like stuck and paralyzed to them, in my perception, I have thrown it and then it snaps back to me not throwing it. Is that
That's
right?
as far as you know. That's what it seems like.
Oh my god, you guys, this is really trippy. Here, try this.
And
Try what?
you pass it around, and everyone tries it, and
Throw,
it is like
throw it in there.
it is mind
Okay, I just
blowing.
Cool.
And Goldie is like, he just experienced that with the lock picking thing, and he's like, what in the world is going on with this place? We have got to get out of here. We might be trapped.
I say we go to every cage and try to open it. If it doesn't, go to the next one.
Okay.
Now I'm just worried that that's what the exit's gonna be. We're gonna try to exit. It's just gonna not let us leave. We're all gonna be
Point the way
standing
you
there.
wanna...
There's some like monsters that's gonna be approaching us forever.
Do you want to still just go around clockwise?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all
Okay.
leaving.
You get to the next door, and the same thing. You can't open the lock. Seems to be locked.
I mean, which one do we melt?
I vote for the big one if it doesn't.
Yeah, that seems probably safe. It's either like has the best stuff, the most stuff, or a giant monster. And I think that we got pretty good odds compared
It's
to everything
50-50.
else. The small cage has got an okay thing at best.
Yeah.
All right. Top
There's
left.
not going to be any staff of wizardry in there.
Middle?
Middle left. Middle left, yeah.
Okay, you continue on this hallway, and same thing as before, scorched marks along pretty much the entire way, all along the walls, just as normal. You get to this door, and as you walk past, you jiggle it just to make sure, and it's locked. It is, and this one in front of you as well. And you get to this staircase, and it goes down, and it's just like the staircase at the entrance when you got here. It descends down like this tunnel-like staircase, maybe 10 or 15 feet down, and then it's just blackness, and you can't see where it leads to. And you get to the front, like this center, very large cell area, and it's got a very large door, and same thing, it's got the bars on it. Across from this cell on the wall, directly behind you now, there are no scorch marks.
Doesn't that strike you as a little odd, guys? Haven't we been seeing a little mess on all these walls except this one? Is that just me? It seems weird that this wall isn't messed up. No, just me.
Goldie agrees. I don't know about everyone else.
I agree. But
All right, well, let's just go.
just
Well, that's out of the way. Let's just go blindly open this door. Or at least try to.
go with the door open.
You try to open it?
I duck down.
Okay.
I am 5 to 6 foot.
True. It is locked.
Oh, God. Well, if everything goes the same, if I try to cast a spell, I wonder if that backfires, and I don't do it.
I go in and yell like "oogada boogada" at the inside the cage, since I know sound can travel. Oogada boogada, oogada boogada.
Hang on one second.
Is anyone awake in there?
Pickle Deer just said that his mic. Oh, I think I heard you. Are you there? Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, you're good. So, Flack, you walk up to the door and scream through the bars.
No, I scream from here.
Oh, okay. You don't seem to get any sort of response. The weird kind of magic aura feeling of like intense cold and quietness seems to be particularly strong where you're all standing.
Cold.
This area, there's something about it that's really, really peculiar. Very dark, possibly necromantic. One of these cages, either one above us or below us, is something's evil.
Actually, let me correct you there. As a sorcerer and a magic user, you get this intense feeling that it's not necromantic at all. It is like devoid of any magic whatsoever.
Some sort of crazy formless magic, guys. This is some serious shit. You guys got to be careful. I don't know if we should open this yet. Did we check if that other door was locked?
So at this point, you've checked all of them, and I'll go ahead and say you checked the top one. They're all locked.
Okay. I don't know what you guys want me to do.
I guess try to cast a spell and see if you're trapped in an infinite purgatory.
I'm gonna duck down and back away and cast a spell on heat metal.
On the lock of this main door?
Yeah.
You guys, tell me where all of you are standing at. I just put you there. I doubt that, Thwack, you actually are standing right in front of the door, but...
How far is that spell?
As a cowardly sorcerer, I'd be like hiding around the corner, kind of like hugging the wall, like peeping my head around, comically.
Which corner? Like this one?
The left. No, up left on the right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Thwack.
I can do it. I can do it within 60 feet, so I'm backing as far as I can.
Okay. Thwack, did your microphone go out? Or are you still there?
Looks like we lost him again.
Pickle Deer. Give him a minute here. Might have to disconnect and reconnect or something.
He flashed, but I didn't hear nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. We'll give it a moment here for everybody. What do you guys think so far? We'll take a quick break. How's everything going?
It's pretty cool. A lot of brick walls.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're right about the part where we're gonna get past that. So
Hopefully. You guys are doing good.
I can say my curiosity is piqued, if nothing else,
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be pissed if we like leave this far and like one room's black.
good. Gotta explore
Ugh.
everything.
Yeah, I'm that kind of player.
I feel you.
It's all that Spyro, man.
All right. He says he's working on it. So, Pickle Ear, I can hear me being echoed through your mic. So it is something is outputting sound. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, there
Oh,
you go.
There
you
we
now.
go. Cool.
Fixed it.
Yeah, I don't know what. Ever since I moved, my mic has been crapping
Dude,
out on me.
Mics and Discord, like anytime you change anything at all or move it or disconnect it, like good luck getting it to go back to how it was before.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
worried because, oh well.
It seems to be working good now. But what I was saying was I just put you here, but you can actually be standing wherever you want. I doubt that you would actually just be standing in front of the door.
Yeah, no. Maybe to the around the corner to the left and down.
Okay. Sound about right?
Yep.
And Goldie will crouch down as well. Same thing. He's like kind of hunched over. Like he still doesn't have any gear. He just has his clothes. He has no weapons or anything, and he just is kind of like lightly crouching and looking around and looking at all of you like, what the hell's gonna happen? Brack, what do you do?
I notice he doesn't have a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something here.
Ooh, can you forge cleric a dagger or something?
Oh, I've been using the hammer. I have a Fate Forged blade.
Oh,
The Lonum or whatever.
okay.
It's a 1d8, so it's probably just.
Longsword, like a magic longsword.
Yeah, it's Fate Forged blade, so it's plus.
Sweet.
No, I'm sorry. It's just a long sword.
Okay.
I did my armor as Fate Forged, so I can't do sword too. So it's just a normal long sword for right now.
Okay. So he now has a longsword. Nice. He grabs it and he kind of holds it like it's a dagger, like he's holding it like backwards, like he's ready to like shank people. He's used to doing roguish stuff, and he's wielding it very strangely, but he looks like he's proficient with it.
I don't have a dagger. Sorry.
No, he's just holding the longsword like that.
Okay. I'm going to heat the metal up on the lock.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Pickle Deer's mic went out again. We'll let him work on it, and we'll continue with what you're doing. So you cast heat metal. So go ahead and mark off the spell, and nothing happens. You don't even see the spell activate. You cast it, and you just see like your magic where it's supposed to appear. Just nothing even happens.
But I don't get my spell back?
Nope.
Oh, that sucks.
This time, like when you try to do something like this before, when you're like casting something or throwing something into the like black void, and it feels like it like prevents you from it and like rewinds you to that spot. This time you fully like you cast the spell and everyone sees it and it happens, but then just no magic, nothing, just no effect happens.
Okay. Time to go home, guys.
Well, we tried our best.
Only thing we haven't tried is to damage it, hit a lock.
I think it'll be very reminiscent.
Yeah, probably.
Goldie just runs up and he'll take the like hilt of the longsword and he'll slam it into the lock, and you guys just see him pick up the longsword and then like freeze in the air and then put the sword down. He's like, nah, nope, that didn't do anything. And he comes over to the other two of you over here and he's like, well, it seems obvious that it's some sort of magical trap. We gotta discover how to get out of here somewhere else.
There's no keys here. There's no way to open these doors. And everything's locked, but randomly your door wasn't locked? What's going on here? Are we dealing with like a mastermind or just like a lazy wizard who like couldn't like hold his concentration long enough? Like what is happening?
Can only concentrate on 7 things at once, not 8.
Yeah, I mean he's got an army, he's got a lot of things to worry about. You know what? That no one's even gonna go down there. Like if I unlock that room, then I can just kind of chill and summon like 20 more like skeletons, and that's what I need. Maybe that's what's going on. But this just makes no sense to me. And I don't want to go down the stairs and then be like, oh, you can't go back up. You should have used all the keys. They were in the dirt. Like,
Goldie.
anyone feeling me in on this?
Did we check everywhere for for?
I tried at least. I looked really hard at that wall.
You guys do one more pass over and you don't see anything like sticking out of the dirt floor or anything hanging on the walls. It just seems like a sterile, boring dirt room. And Goldie is just as confused. He's like, I don't know why I'm the only one to be able to get out of here. Maybe it's something to do with the cell is broken or something. I don't know. But hopefully if we can find some gear, I can help. I don't know. I don't even know how we can break everybody out if that's what's going on. We're going to have to stop this magic somehow.
Well, I'm honored to do anything alongside you, Goldu. It's been a dream. I've only heard stories about you and only seen you once, and you only kind of like waved at me. But like, now I really feel like we're brothers, and it really means a lot to me. And I'm just glad that you're happy to go. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're happy to go. You're happy to go with me, and go in full force, knowing fully well that we'll probably all die. You know, it just means a lot.
You give him this like really nice heartfelt speech, and when you get towards the end of it, you look and he's just like he's kind of like holding a coin up in the light and like looking at it, and then he like puts it back in his pocket and he looks he's like, huh, what? Oh yeah, totally, yep. Brothers, let's do this.
Yeah, this is stupid anyway. Let's go.
Pickle Deer, are you back? Oh, he's disconnected from the channel. Maybe he'll join back up. We might have to stop it here. We'll give him another couple minutes. But okay, so you guys are gonna go towards the stairs.
Yeah.
Do you want to go down or up? I'll just ask that. And Pickle, while you're working on stuff, if you want to just say in the chat, like, if there's something that they go to do and you're like absolutely opposed to it, like, no, we can't do that yet, just say something. But I'll assume that you'll go along with them for now. They're not doing anything super crazy.
Too late.
Yeah.
We jump into the maw of the dragon.
He's like, I had the key.
Yeah.
I guess.
Up,
So
down.
You said the blackness is at the bottom of the stairs. It's in the floor, or is it?
Yeah, it looks like in a video game, like if there's a tunnel or something, like after a certain distance, it just gets dark and you can't see anymore, you know?
Okay.
So it's like that at both staircases, up and down. You can see, 10 or 15 feet down the staircase, and then it just gets hazy and black and dark, and you can't see.
I guess we go down.
Goldie says, I'll follow you guys. I don't know whatever you think is better. We don't know how you got here, so I don't know if up or down is the way out or forward or what.
Flack looks to the left and the right at his brothers and the Goblin King, and he says, and kind of shrugs his shoulders up and says, the only way out is in. And he starts going down.
All right. You guys all walk down the staircase and you get to the very bottom, and you keep walking down and you appear at the top of this staircase over here. And you enter into this room. And you get to the bottom and you see this cell in front of you. And it looks familiar.
Whoa, wait a minute. I've seen this before. Where have I seen this? Where were we? Where were we? Like we were doing something and we were somewhere. Oh yeah, the keys. Wait. Is this the same? No. I'm gonna like run over to the cell that's supposed to hold Goldu from my memory.
Okay, and you all like the weird time thing didn't happen. Like you just, it's like you just went down the staircase and then you wound up in the room again, and you're like, what the fuck? We were just in here, and you get to the cell where Goldu is at, and it's normal and empty, and the door's open.
The door's open?
Yeah, and you hear behind you somewhere another door. You hear like the click of a lock, and another door unlocks.
What the hell is going on here? Like, are we descending into like every time we go down a stair, we like lose like a layer of sanity, and it's like, yeah, just keep doing it. Like you'll open a lock, and then like every time it's like, yeah, we'll open the lock, but if we ever try and leave, we're like half the brain we ever used to be.
That's a good theory.
So the sound come from a.
You hear
Where?
the clicking of metal, like you would guess it was the sound of a lock unlocking, and it just came from behind you somewhere. You don't know where.
Yeah, I don't like getting things for free. That's one thing I learned as a goblin. You gotta earn everything. So I really don't feel like we did much. We just walked down the goddamn stairs, and it just gave us a free open. So I feel like this has to come at some cost somewhere.
Well, that's what we should do. Just keep running down the stairs, back and forth, and unlock it.
I think we should at least open the cell each time we go back by, just to make sure we're not locking that person out, because maybe they unlock the next floor. And either way,
well, this one didn't lock.
They could help us. Either way, they could just help us, or there could just be like a thing on the ground that's just like useful.
That's true.
I could check the room to my right.
Plus, if we open all of them at once and they all just happen to be like monsters, we're kind of screwed.
So you're gonna go down and check this one?
Yeah.
It appears to still be locked.
Okay, I go back up and tell them.
Okay.
All right, let's do the clockwise again.
We're
gonna be doing this a lot, boys.
Yeah.
You guys travel around, you see this one is locked, and you get up to this next door, and you jiggle the handle, and it appears to be open.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Who wants to do the honors, as they say? And I like immediately run like straight south around the corner.
I'm assuming everyone else does as well. And let's see. Pickle, are you still here? Any luck, man? What's going on? Do you think it's your mic or Discord, or... Man, it sucks.
It's almost always Discord.
I know, right? It's so bad. Give it a couple seconds. About to throw my mic in the trash. It's weird. It seems like it's a Discord thing. I don't know. It could be your mic if you've had problems with it before, but man, don't discount it being a Discord problem.
Yeah, they always find a way.
Mm-hmm. So Goldie this time, he's like, whatever, I'm just gonna go for it, and he just flings the door open, and you see this dwarf wizard pacing back and forth, and you see that it's Mac. And he is like, he seems to be in much better health and spirits than Goldie was when you found him, and Mac is just, walking back and forth like, oh my god, the goblins, you guys survived. Oh my god, of course you're here. You're the only people that weren't on the island. This has to be, this is amazing. You're gonna get us out of here. Where are we?
Yeah, we're the guys who took your job. We're the ones who went around and started adventuring because we were actually trustworthy enough to not screw it up. And now we're here You're saving. So basically, Tweet is evil or the Lich, and we're in this cave that pretty much just repeats this room forever. And you're going to be walking a lot with us, so I hope you're ready. Yeah, pretty much. If you have any more questions, feel free. But we got to keep walking.
He is like, I guess we'll walk and talk, and we'll figure it out as we go. I already had some theories, but now I can get a better grasp on stuff. Pickle, do you want to? Did you try to reboot or anything? Do you want to try for anything? I don't want to go too much farther without you, man. It's not much fun not being able to hear your input on everything. We can stop it here. I know we're just getting into stuff right here. I don't want to ruin everything, guys, but not as much fun when we're down a player.
It's all good. I mean, totally
That's
understandable.
Yep.
Discord has the true Nat 1 rules.
I know, man. I really wish that I could play with you guys in person and do this in real life and have like an actual table and real
dude,
everything, you know.
Dude, I loved dice.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I don't feel bad about stopping, man. It's like pretty much the end of the stream anyways. We only would have had 20 minutes left, so we're just about at a good stopping point. It's no big deal. I can go a little bit further without needing any input from you, so we'll go to a really good stopping point, and then we'll stop it here. So hopefully by next week, obviously we won't play because it's Christmas, and then the week after, I think everyone is available to play again. Was that right?
I'll be able to, but I think it's like right before New Year's or right on it.
I think it's
it's the New Year's Day, like
New Year's
afterwards.
Day. Okay, so
Yeah.
are you guys going to be busy on New Year's Day? Totally fine if you are.
I honestly don't know at this point.
Let me know beforehand. There's no rush or anything, so we'll go ahead and call it so that next week we will not play on Christmas, and then at some point between now and then, let me know if you guys want to play on the 1st, and if you can, we will.
Okay.
And
I'm already down.
We'll leave it open. Cool. So you continue on. You met Mac, and he explains like he's been, same thing, pacing back and forth in this cell and trying to figure out what's going on. He doesn't have gear either. I upgraded him and gave him a new model on Roll20, but don't consider that he doesn't have a staff or anything. He just has his robes, and he gets the information, and you guys catch him all up while you walk and try to figure stuff out. So you feel free to do whatever it is you want to do now.
I run down the stairs.
Okay. Everyone follow Brack, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I just want to see
the necessity to stay close.
I just want to see if you guys stay here. Let me run down.
Okay. So you run down on your own, and yeah, same thing. You appear over here, and you can see them over there.
Okay. Do I hear any clicks?
You do not.
Okay, guys, go.
They all appear shortly behind you.
I try to play a trick like I'm like not the real me. Like, now it's time to eat 'em, boys. Nah, I'm just kidding.
That's pretty good. All right, let me roll something real quick. Okay. So yeah, you're back out in the room again. This time you hear 2 clicks.
Oh.
All right. As tempting as it is, no splitting up.
Yeah.
Damn it. Almost had you.
Nope. Let's try this door down here for
Which one?
the bottom one.
Okay.
Or next to the side right here to the stairs.
The very first one? Okay, that one remains locked.
Oh. Clockwise, I
guys
guess.
just keep going in the same direction.
We'll just keep getting Mac to open the doors for us.
All right, Matt. Goldu or Mac?
Mac.
All right, that's awesome. He willingly is like, I guess whatever, and you caught him up on everything, and he looks at the scorch marks around the place, and he's like, I don't like the sights of this. This looks familiar to me. And we got to hurry up and get out of here. And he opens the door, and it is open. This is one of the ones that clicked, and you see before you this absolute vision of a man, Chad,
Oh,
Chad.
and
Black Quake. And his boots.
you, vampire, you can either control both, or you can resume Chad, whatever you want to do. But Chad, he's back. You're now in control of Chad again.
I'm
he
down
is
to do
without
both in
gear.
turn order.
He is without
That's
gear, but you see this giant dragonborn man stumble to his feet and see you all, and he obviously recognizes everybody, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it's you. What how does Chad respond?"
Holy Chad, I believed so hard that everything worked out in the end. Everyone's rescued, and now I'm the last one, and we're all free. Right, Mac?
Mac is like, yes. Well, as
It's always a good sign to see you, Mac, right?
if by everyone you mean just me and Goldu, then yeah, we're ready to go.
Wait, something doesn't feel right to good old Chad. Chad like pokes his head out and around.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Chad are we?
And they all catch you up, and you do hear the second click.
Chad wants to open things.
Go straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
You know what? I like your style.
Continuing
To the
clockwise.
left. Yes.
Okay. You guys.
Chad will open these doors.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Chad.
he just goes straight for it, Chad style.
Hell yeah.
Tries this door to the left,
Fireball.
and yeah, he's disintegrated to death.
Power word death. He's instantly dead.
No, this one is locked, and nothing happens. And Chad, obviously, like you guys can see, I'm imagining the like time freezing thing happens when Chad like messes with the door, and I really like picturing whatever Chad's response to that would be.
It's like, oh! He's just like waiting for somebody to stop him. Like he will not stop.
He's just like constantly frozen in time. Mac eventually like smacks him on the back, like, what the hell?
You gotta stop doing that.
They explain like how it works, and he's like mind blown.
Well, you could have told Chad that first. I mean, I was there for like 7 years.
Don't cast a spell because you do lose it.
And that's amazing.
What's a spell?
Yeah. You carry on if you would like. There's the 3 doors remaining.
Yep.
All right. Chad's gonna open the closed door, and then he kind of like runs and jumps at it and shakes it violently.
Which one?
The one to the left.
Okay. It is locked.
Chad failed. Chad, try again. Chad runs to the other one. He's just like pushing everyone out of his way.
This one
Fumbling
to
over
the
them.
top?
Yes.
Okay, it is locked as well.
Uh-oh. The big one.
Chad's gonna run to the far one.
Over here?
Yeah, I believe we did
Yeah,
switch that, yeah.
It's
We
locked.
didn't check that one?
Yeah, you did. It's locked.
Okay, I thought we did.
Not with Chad, but you did
No.
before.
Oh, not with Chad, yeah.
Alright, all you little baby Chads, get out of the way if you don't want to see some potential horror.
Everybody ducks and hides around the
Everyone
corner.
like runs out of Chad's line of sight.
This
you guys
one,
are still here, right?
the door is a decent amount bigger, and you grab the handle, and it feels like it's gonna move if you try to open it.
Uh-oh.
Alright, I'm opening it. You guys are still gonna be here when I open it, right?
Duck.
Pickle, are you still here? At least getting to watch all this. I'm gonna end it right after this, so as long as you still get to see everything before we go.
He's not answering. No.
You're,
There he is.
you're
Yeah, he's
watching, all
watching.
right. So Chad goes up to this door. It's a heavier one, and this, for the first time since Chad got free of the cage, he feels that intense, cold, silent aura wash over him when he stands in front of this door, and he grabs the handle and pulls the door open, and immediately you see Chad just get blasted back into the wall behind you, and a massive beholder emerges from the cell in the middle of the room. And that's where we'll call it a day.
It's a nightmare!
I told you to duck, Chad.
Yeah, I knew you guys all knew what was coming, but you can't stop it.
Chad can't even comprehend this creature.
Oh yeah, it's like an aberration of reality, like it's just this floating, and what Chad sees is this floating mass of tentacles and eyeballs and this giant mouth that it just instantly, begins floating through space towards him, blasts him against the wall, and starts like, gnashing the giant jaws together. And
why do you exist?
it emerges into the hallway. Chad is knocked over. And that's where we'll pick it up whenever we get back to it.
Hell yeah, right on the...
My size for my coffin is about 5 foot.
I'm excited to see. I've never ran a beholder before. I've pretty much everyone that I've talked to about it is like, they say that you can like fight it with like an 8th level party, but they also say that sometimes beholders can like total party kill like 20th level parties, so who knows what will happen.
You have saves on everything.
Hopefully you guys don't die. Who's this they? They lied to you. I'm excited to see what happens. It's gonna be fun.
They lied to you. Yeah, they probably.
All right, that's where we're gonna stop it. I can't wait to play again. Even if you guys all die, it's gonna be awesome.
The worst part about beholders is they're so powerful, and they're like so like unwilling to like side with anyone. Like it's just like it's an impossibility.
They're like ultimate chaotic evil. Just like, only care about themselves.
Yeah, they're the ultimate hermit. They don't care about nothing but themselves.
Yep.
Hell no. And it's the worst combination in my opinion. So you get that, and they just got like true power. It's like, oh god, they don't need anyone to work off of, so they just have no reason to be nice. They could just annihilate everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. All right,
I'm excited to behold.
That's one of us.
Cool. Pickle says, I'm going to try to find the little mic that plugs into my headphones, so I'll at least have a backup next time. Cool. If you find one and you want to, try it out before we play next time, just to give it a little trial run or whatever, just get a hold of me, let me know, and we'll figure it out. That's going to be it for tonight. I think we're going to stop it there. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for putting up with the annoying, going back up and down the stairs and through the thing. I hoped it would work out, and it seems like it did.
Oh, we only did it once, and it wasn't like at least in unlocked doors, it wasn't like, oh, you go down the stairs and nothing changes at all. Good luck.
That is how I was gonna run it originally, and I was like, man, this might take like 6 hours and nothing will happen, and that would be horrible.
Yeah. So I checked this out. Is it locked? It's still locked.
Yeah.
Is there keys? No, there's still no keys.
Nothing has changed at all.
Is there anything anywhere? There's scorch marks.
As a kid, I would want a room like I was always like the magical portals to play tag in.
Yeah. I am the same way. I just really like that concept of the looping room is really cool, and putting a battle inside of something like that is an interesting idea, and we'll see how it works out. Especially with a crazy reality changing monster like a beholder.
I'm really curious, like how it would have went, because I was debating going Dimension Door. How would that have interacted with the spell? Would it even let it happen, or would we have to dispel the door by like unlocking it first?
That's a good question.
Oh. I'm not gonna change to it, but I was just like wondering how.
Yeah, that's true, Pickle Deer. Probably like that fascination with the looping hallway room and stuff is probably from Scooby-Doo and those chase scenes. Yeah, that's a good point. They like chase someone in one door and come out the other way, and
that's why I said don't split up. I wanted to say Scooby-Doo, but I don't know if my character knew that show.
That's
At least
awesome.
you could have. At least you could have put the hallways straight across from each other.
I know. I had to change it up a little bit.
Uh,
All
I
right,
would have
guys.
shot.
Wait, that means we can Scooby Doo chase this monster.
I hope you do.
Oh my god, this will be great. Just gotta cue the music. Just get the running sound. Doodling, doodling.
Well, I definitely don't recommend just standing where you are and trying to fight it.
No.
I'm going straight for this portal.
Yeah, the standing in one spot fighting a beholder is probably the dumbest thing you could do. So I'm excited. I gave you a pretty mobile battle arena, so take advantage of it. But you're gonna have to remember that in a couple weeks when we get to play again. I got to get out of here. I'm gonna go take the dog out and stuff and rest up. I got to watch a new episode of The Mandalorian tonight, and then we're going to the late showing of the brand new Star Wars movie tomorrow. So I cannot wait for all that stuff. So I guess
I watched it already.
the new episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Nice. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it right now after we get done, and then the movie tomorrow. But I think that means that there will not be a stream tomorrow. Unfortunately, I forgot about that until just now. But we do have tickets to the Thursday night show of the new Star Wars movie, so definitely gonna do that. I will be back on Sunday. Probably gonna play more of that Frostpunk game, or finish up Halo Reach, or maybe work on some D&D stuff on stream with you guys. But thank you for playing. Really appreciate you guys. Pickle says Thwack is gonna kite this thing so hard. I truly hope so. Paladin should be fairly useful against a beholder. We'll see what happens. You guys are awesome. Really, thank you so much for all of this. And with how chaotic and inconsistent it is sometimes, and the pains of having to play online through a stream and Roll20 and stuff, I know it's not the perfect way of playing this game, but it's still just been an absolute joy for me, and I really can't thank you guys enough. It's fun every time we get to play, and having you guys show up and be excited to play and get into it is just, it means the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. I don't understand why you guys keep showing up and you're having fun, and you're awesome. You guys really make it worth it to do all this. So thanks so much.
Well, we
Thank you.
come and hang out all the time just because the perfect way to play is whenever we get to play with you, Elder.
Thank you so much, man.
It is.
You guys are awesome. Fear Good, when we're not playing this Sunday, correct? Or are we?
No, we're not.
Okay, cool. I will keep in touch with you about that, and then talk to you guys sooner or later. Have a good Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, enjoy your movies and your
You too.
Mandalorian.
Happy Yuletide, whatever you end up doing, Vamp. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.